Hey everybody, it's Dina Rica with the Creativity Cave, and look at this gorgeous card that I have to share with you today. But wait, there's more. Check out the inside. Oh, so pretty. So let me show you how I created this card. It's quite easy, but it's really pretty and I love it. So I'm using the Artistically Inked bundle. And this is, of course, featured on the catalog cover this year. It's a great bundle with all kinds of fabulous stuff in it. You can also get the Expressions in Ink All-Star Tutorial Bundle, which is 12 video projects or video tutorials featuring this suite of products when you either spend $50 in my online store or subscribe to the tutorial. You get 5 months or 6 months for the price of 5. Or you can also get it free if you are on my team. You can earn it for free as a member of my demonstrator team. And then you can also just purchase it for $15. So let me show you my project. And again, I love this bundle. There are fabulous coordinating dies that go with it, and I'm going to show you how this works. So this is one of our distinctive stamps, and so all these beautiful details show up in this image. Now, a couple tips whenever you're using any of our distinctive stamps, you're going to want to make sure that your ink pad is not too juicy. If it is, like if you just re-inked it, or maybe you're using a brand new ink pad, take the back hand of a spoon, and you're going to work the ink into the stamp pad like this, just rubbing it in. You can press it in a little bit, and then that will help alleviate the extra ink on it. So I'm going to start with some Magenta Madness ink. And then I really wanted this to be have some gradient of color. So I'm going to take some Melon Mambo ink and one of my sponge daubers. And I label mine. I have a sponge dauber for every color. And I'm just going to sponge ink on the center portion of my stamp. And these are somewhat similar colors of ink, so you aren't going to see a whole lot of what I'm doing on the stamp right away. But when I stamp it down onto my cardstock, that's when you'll really see it. I'm also going to take some Real Red ink, and you guessed it, my Real Red sponge dauber, and I'm just going to sponge the very inside of this, so not as much as before. So both of those colors will hopefully show through when I go to stamp this down. So I'm just going to stamp it down onto some basic white cardstock, and look at how pretty that is. It adds a little extra flair, which I just love. Okay. Now I also want to add to this the center of my flower as well as the leaves, and I'm actually going to stamp them in black ink. So kind of different, but I love these colors together. They're so rich and beautiful. So I'm just going to stamp that is the center, and this is the leaf, and then I will die cut all of these out in just a moment. But since I've got my black ink open, I wanted to show you, well, actually, I'm going to show you two more things, and then we'll put everything together. The first is I'm going to take a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of basic gray cardstock, and I want to stamp a little background on here. So I'm going to use the border image and my black Memento ink. You could use basic gray ink on this as well, but I had the black ink out. I mean, we may as well use it. And I'm just going to stamp this. Now, somebody left me a comment on a video recently, and I can't stop but think of this. And they said that this looks like a fetal pig. Now, I used to teach high school biology, and I will tell you that is exactly what this looks like. That is 100% a fetal pig. So I have to giggle about that. But now I just stamped and overlapped so you don't see it anymore, but that's okay. So I'm taking kind of the flat edge of this, the straight edge of this design, and I'm putting it towards the center, and then kind of the wavy outside edge is what's showing on the top and the bottom of this. So, and then I overlapped it quite a bit just so it doesn't look super uniform. Okay, so that's the edge of that. That's our background. I'm also going to add our sentiment. And one of the other great things about this set is there's some really nice sentiments in there. I love the way they're written. This is a beautiful scripty thanks. So we'll just stamp that right there at the bottom. And now we're done with this. And I want to do the rest of my stamping, which is the layer that goes on the inside. Let me show you how I built up that inside layer. I'm going to take my fetal pig border. Just makes me giggle. Does this bring you back to your high school? When I was in college, I was a TA, and let me tell you, I need those pigs inside and out. So I had to giggle when she suggested that it looked like a fetal pig, because it so does. Okay, so I'm going to start with kind of my lightest of the three colors here. And I'm going to stamp the border going down like so. Okay, 2 fetal pigs. We're good to go. Oh, except that is so not how I wanted to do it. Flipping it over. We're going to do 2 fetal pigs, but we're going to do the bumpy side out. There we go. I just think it looks cool. That's all. Okay, now I'm going to clean this. You can see I'm doing a really good job. And then because I'm going into darker colors, it's no big deal. I'm going to add in some colors just with the very end in a couple spots. Okay, so that was Melon Mambo. Again, I'll clean, really thoroughly. That's sarcasm, by the way, in case you couldn't tell. I know some of you are international. You might not pick up on my sarcasm. And then I'm going to add a little bit of red in a couple places. Now, all of this I'm doing so that I still keep each color can be seen in here. Now, because I made such a mess with my background, let me get rid of this paper. And I'm going to show you how I then took this little 3-flower image, and I'm going to stamp that right over the top. Okay, so I'm just adding these 3 flowers. I'm kind of turning directions and stamping them going down the edge because I just think it looks really neat. So a fun little inside to our card. Now I'm going to go die cut my flower pieces, and then we'll come back and put everything together, and I have a cool little finish for this card. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I've got everything die cut. Oh, I just love the look of all of this so much. And then I'm going to put together my card. And for that, I have a basic black card base. So let's just scooch those things aside. And I'll give my card a crease with my bone folder. And then we'll add our layers. I just love the contrast of this bright pink and red, shades of pink and red with the black and gray. I think it's just so pretty. So I'll take this layer of cardstock and adhere it to my card with some of my seal. Okay. Put that down like so. I will add the inside layer. See, no one will even know we messed up. Not that it matters all that much. I just kind of like the jagged edge. And maybe you like the not jagged edge. It's whatever works for you. That's what I love about stamping. Okay, and then finally, I will pop these layers up, but don't worry. We've got a fancy finish for this. One of my favorite things to do. So I've got a couple dimensionals, and I'm just going to pop that beautiful floral looking inky floral thing on here, and then my little center. And at first I was tempted to not do the center, but I do like it. I'm gonna just adhere this. Oops, you can see I curled the leaves just a little bit, and we'll adhere that kind of like so on here. But then what I want to do is add a little spritzing to this. So I'm going to do both shimmery spritzes as well as inky spritzes. So I'm going to start with my clear Wink of Stella. I store my clear Wink of Stella upside down so that kind of the liquid stays to the tip. Then I'm just going to smack it against something hard, such as my bone folder. And when I do that, I get little shimmery spritzes, and you can see them on there. It's just a fun little touch. But then my favorite is we're going to spritz with a marker. So I'm using a black marker, and I've got the brush end, and I'm going to put this brush end into the cap, and then I'm going to kind of flick it out. Okay, listen. All right, so I'll do that twice, just so I get good coverage. If you've never done this with a marker, you probably once is enough. And then I'm going to flick once on the inside of my card, and then I've got coordinating spritzy marks. So isn't that just gorgeous? Oh, I love this card so much. So I want to remind you that you can get the All-Star Tutorial PDF for free, or you can purchase it from me. I will have all of that in the description of this video. And here is the information, or here's a little sampler, sneak peek of our projects. The projects are amazing, you guys. This is a design team from all around the world. Some amazingly talented stampers are part of this group, and you won't want to miss this. 12 video tutorials for just $15. Each project has the measurements listed in both English units as well as metric units for the respective cardstock sizes in those areas, and you won't be disappointed if you get this, I promise. So thank you guys so much for stamping with me today. All the supplies that I used are also linked in the description of this video. If you could give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss any of my awesome videos, I'd be so grateful. Thank you again, and have a great afternoon. We'll see you soon, guys. Bye-bye.